Good morning, LinkedIn. Hope you got your coffee in hand and are enjoying the day. I literally just spilled this in my lap a little bit before starting this live stream. We push through, we persevere, because we have things to talk about today. There are things in the news, things in the views, and I'm going to share my screen. We're going to take a look at what's going on. Ooh, got too many windows open. And take a look at what's going on in the LinkedIn news and views today. So today we have some news from Finland. Zooming in here, hopefully you can read it, but I'll read it to you. Finns to finish work early. What is this about? Finland's Prime Minister, Sanna Marin, wants Finns to finish work early. Her government is said to consider testing a 4-day work week and a 6-hour working day. I believe people deserve to spend more time with their families, loved ones, hobbies, and other aspects of life, such as culture. This could be the next step for us in working life, Marin said. Swedish experiments with a 6-hour working day led to happier, healthier, more productive employees, though research concluded it may be too costly to implement. I'm really curious to know, for anyone out there who's watching this, how many hours are you working per day? And how many days per week? I know as an entrepreneur, I'm working way more than a typical 9 to 5. But that was a choice that I made when I decided to go into business for myself. So while I think, from what I've read online, shortening the work week has typically led to better outcomes, as well as paying people more and all these other things that basically, if you value your employees, it's going to lead to good outcomes. And if you're a company that is forward thinking enough or, employee centric enough that you are implementing a shorter work week for your employees, you're probably going to have a good enough culture that will lead to higher work ethic and other things across the board. The concern I think I might have with this is that it's being implemented across the board for everyone. And that takes away some of the ability to choose your work culture or to develop your own work culture. Some work cultures enjoy working crazy hours. I know people who are painters and they paint all through the night. I don't know how you would regulate a 4-day work week and 6-hour working day for people who have odd jobs. And obviously, this is a very small sample of a very small paragraph of what's going on. So I'm sure there's a lot of nuance that I'm missing, but I'm very curious to see, where this goes in the future. I do agree with Charlotte here, CEO of the 4-day week. So definitely they're focused on 4-day weeks. It's great to see this in the news. We await details on how it might be implemented. Of course, tricky thing for government to enforce because of variable solutions businesses and their people need to make it successful. Yeah, because if you try and just force every company to do this, you might get some bad cultures implementing it in bad ways. So it's very curious how this is going to work out. But having government support will be good at encouraging changes. And of course, this is only in Finland. I'm also waiting for the benefits and possibilities technology is supposed to bring along. The talk on technology to reduce workload has been going on for decades. The question remains, why are we so busy and stressed then? Putting on weight and sleeping badly. Something is not working here. Some new ideas are welcome. I actually really agree with this. This is one of those things where every time there's a new technology that is released, they say it's going to save us time and money and give us happiness and all these other things. And having come from the marketing world, I've typically noticed that the more things you try and buy into, the less time you have, the more you work, the more stressed you become. And so, if we're always, being able to work remote, this computer that I'm working on now, 10 years ago when I started my career, I mean, we had laptops and all that good stuff, but trying to log in to work remote was such a pain that people wouldn't do it. It would literally take almost an hour to get through all the security firewalls and hook up to the internet. And then things would be so slow that working from home was almost impossible. People did it. And when you were sick, you would try and do it. We had the desktop at work and they would give you a laptop to take home. But it was definitely hard to do. And then, technology improved and we have better laptops and we have all this great stuff. And now we're able to work remotely. And I know a lot of folks who are still at that company who work remote or go back and forth between the city and the suburbs and stuff that we weren't able to do as easily. And I look at what I'm able to do with this laptop now that I'm remote. I'm able to take it to the couch, take it to the bed, take it all over the house, take it to the coffee shop, which means there's more opportunities to work. And I think that's kind of in the culture of our country, in the culture of our work ethic, is to just always be finding things to do. If you finish your work, there's more work to be done. There's literally no end to the work. So we have to put arbitrary ends and breaks in. I see this a lot in the job search. People are like, well, I could literally job search all day, every day, because I don't have a job. And then what ends up happening is that they burn out because they've not scheduled those breaks. They've not scheduled time for themselves to recover and recuperate. And they haven't really thought through what a healthy working balance would be. That word balance is so weird because, I mean, a lot of people get energized by their work. And if you're energized by your work and it is one of your hobbies, back up to what they were saying here, they want you to lead a happier, healthier, more productive employees through, more time with their families, loved ones, hobbies, and other aspects of their life. Well, some people really love their jobs, that their jobs have their friends in them. And some people, their hobby is also their work. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I like it in concept, but when it comes to the implementation, that's where the rubber hits the road. And I'm kind of curious if anyone else out there thinks that having a governmental imposed 4-day work week and 6-hour working day would be better or worse for the job that you work. And I'm also really curious, how many hours are you putting in? If you feel comfortable sharing it. Like, what does your typical work week look like? I know I was working weekends back when I did a 9-to-5 job too, but that was due to overwhelm and stress. Now I'm doing it because I actually, I enjoy it and I want to get things done. But curious what your thoughts are. That's our LinkedIn news and views for the day. I hope you're enjoying your coffee and your Monday. And have a good one, LinkedIn.